Welcome to the DJI BTS video. Today is day one. I feel like I've been prepping for this shoot for a good month and a half, but it's finally here. And our first location is actually in my garage. So the shoot that we're doing is with the Zugo bike, the bike that I'm riding right now actually. If you remember, we did a shoot with Zugo with the DJI FPV. Apparently though, it was a PR nightmare. Something about people not wearing helmets. I don't know. So we had to redo the video, and I promised them we'd do an equally dope video. So here we are once again with DJI and Zugo, but this time we have a secret weapon, which we didn't have last time. The DJI R4D. Compared to last time though, I think the production value overall in this video is even gonna be higher. So really excited to shoot on this camera for this specific project. So look, the shot list, I actually started doing my shot lists in my notebook. So this is actually our first day, but this is technically location 3 for the shoot. So we'll see this in the last part of the video, but everything else, I started laying out right here in my little notebook. And most of the time when I just read my shot list, I know what I want it to look like, but it is really helpful with a million things going on to just glance and be like, oh, that's the composition, that's the framing that I wanted, and then move on and go to the next shot. So I don't know, I'm kind of liking the whole storyboard thing. So the studio lighting setup that we have here, I actually looked around to try and find an existing location where we could film where it had the same lighting setup or something similar at least. I couldn't find anything, so I ended up just making my own. This cost, I think $1,000 between just all the lighting. If you are crazy enough like me and you want to make your own, I have linked everything down below in the description. But actually, we have talent coming in 5 minutes, so I gotta get prepped. Nate, can you cue the B-roll? Please, and did you do it?
Do what?
The B. Can you just cue the B-roll, please?
Oh,
ready?
B-roll.
3, 2, 1, and. So Logan is giving Joy a masterclass on how to power slide in here because Joy's never done it. Logan can do it, he just did it. He made this huge, what do you call that?
Skid mark.
Skid mark. Anyways, he did that and now Joy is maybe gonna do it, but my guess is it might not work out. I guess we'll see. Alternatively, I'll probably have her come in at a different angle, just do something different. So I wrote down the ideal shot I wanted. If they could do it, they can do it. If they can't, I'll come up with something different. So I think it's gonna be something different. So far we've shot most of this stuff just on the normal gimbal follow mode, but for this shot right here, tight shot of the helmet, so we're gonna get that nice shot. In FPV mode, we can actually turn the whole gimbal like that and it'll follow us. So the only hard part is actually just pulling focus simultaneously. But this focus wheel is actually really big, so it's not too hard to kind of feel exactly where you need to be. Action. That's a wrap. I was planning on actually scouting this out on Saturday. It's Monday now, but it was just raining so much that it wasn't really worth it. So we got here a little bit early so I could kind of look at everything and see what we needed to change around. On my shot list, one of the shots, I need one of the bikes to be kicking up a bunch of dust and leave this cloud of dust. And we just realized if you look at the dirt down here, if you pick it up and you throw it up, it's pretty heavy, it doesn't float at all. So I'm gonna have to just completely omit that shot from the shot list and find something else. So I think what we'll do instead is just have kind of a cool camera movement that tilts down, because we were gonna have the camera pass through the dust and then we get into another shot. We're probably just gonna go with the classic, I don't wanna say whip transition. It's just kind of more of a seamless sand into the sand, from another shot. So I'm having him do these donuts right here, and I'm gonna have Joy come in just kind of behind him. I'm doing just a normal push-in shot, but there's a nice sport mode, like it's an M, I think it means manual, but sport mode basically on this controller right here. So I can be pushing in slowly, and then as he passes by, I can hit that M and then quickly pan over, and then we're gonna transition to another shot. So kind of comes in handy that it's right here by my finger. So we just finished up filming here in Knowles. Hopefully Salt Lake City isn't as windy. We just transitioned from Knowles. Now we're gonna go into Salt Lake City. So the transition shot we're using to go from the desert to the city, what we're doing is because Logan comes in with his bike, he whips to the left. I'm passing against this building, doing the same camera motion, same direction, and then simultaneously bringing it up. We're seeing a little bit of the buildings up here, so we know we've now transitioned to a different setting. And then I'm kind of twisting it back down and dropping back onto those two on the bike. So it's a pretty decent transition to kind of move from one place to another. Somewhat cliche, but I think with that added camera movement, when you add the panning and then you kind of tilt it up, you bring it back down, I mean, it's a pretty dynamic movement, and honestly, this camera does it really well. So this shot, I'm mainly just testing out the tracking. So far, it's actually been pretty decent. This is a good shot to do it on though, because I need to ride the one wheel in that direction and I need to film behind me. So I can actually just like select who I want to track. And then with the joystick, I can kind of move and reposition them on the frame, and it should keep them right there. Okay, ready, and action. That's so sick once they go into the dark.
That tracks really good.
Yeah, that tracks really freaking well. So the nice thing about this, I mean, even though the lenses are smaller, lens options are more limited, it actually is pretty quick when you need to switch a lens, because the size of all these are about the same, so I don't really have to rebalance it. Plus, on this gimbal specifically, there's only two things to balance if you don't count the Z-axis. So if you have to switch lenses really quick, it's actually significantly faster on this over you know, maybe a 1DX2 or 3 and an RS2. Probably one of the best parts about this camera is the touchscreen, and just overall the menu system is really good on this thing. So I hit this button, I can just go to my video playback. I can see all my clips right here. Super nice. Probably one of the better menu systems I've ever used on a camera, so I can actually really appreciate that. So that's a wrap, we did it. It was a freaking long day of shooting. It's 8:37. We left my house at 8:30, so that's 12 hours of just non-stop go, go, go. So good shoot though. Excited for you guys to see the video. I will be playing that actually right now.
Someone once told me, go the extra mile. It's never crowded. Just make sure you bring a friend. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Here's to yours being the former.
mean, come on. Even if you didn't like my edit, you have to admit the image quality on that camera is so good. It's full frame, shooting in 6K, ProRes RAW internal, 14 plus stops of dynamic range, built-in NDs, built-in gimbal. And yeah, I was super skeptical of this thing. It looked so weird. It is literally one of the weirdest cameras anyone has ever seen. So I tested this for about 2 weeks before actually shooting for like 10 plus hours on this specific project. And it genuinely is one of the most convenient run and gun cameras I've had to use because I'm not constantly balancing my gimbal. I have the built-in NDs. There honestly wasn't many times that I needed to redo a shot because I had that big monitor right there. I could see everything clearly. And now the real question is, do I plan on switching to this camera? And yeah, I know, I don't even trust myself with that question because literally I have said on multiple occasions that I'm planning on switching or I'm not going to switch. And most of the time I do the exact opposite. So yeah, don't trust me totally. Take this by a grain of salt, but no, I don't plan on making this my main camera. And that's not to say that I'm never going to use it again. I'm not going to make it my main camera. And I know there's going to be a project where it makes sense to use it again. It was amazing for the Zugo bike commercial. It was low stress, super good for run and gun stuff. And overall, I think the video turned out amazing. And honestly, I think this system as a whole has a bit more evolving to do. This is the first cinema camera of its kind, but I think as more accessories and lenses are released, it's only going to gain more traction. So there's my 2 cents. Take from it what you will. I really hope you guys liked the video. As always, if you want to make videos like that one or learn from creators like myself, Parker, Jake, Nate, go ahead and check out Full-Time Filmmaker. It's our online film course. We got tons of videos to help you navigate through becoming a full-time filmmaker, or you can always go watch our free filmmaking training. I've linked it somewhere above my head, or you can just go down into the description. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Go ahead, give this video a big fat like. And if you have any further questions, please let us know.